Consul General Creamer, RSO Rosenbluth, Gunny Wolf, honored guests. I'm with you tonight in spirit, if not in body, to celebrate the 238th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. On November 10th, 1775, the Continental Congress passed a resolution declaring that 2 battalions of Marines be raised. So far as I'm concerned, that resolution is one of the few times in the last 238 years that Congress has actually done anything positive. But tonight I'd like to talk about something else that's positive: Marine values. Marine values are tempered on an anvil of old-fashioned principles. Principles like courage and character and commitment, sacrifice and honesty and compassion, perseverance, bravery, and integrity. Today, those principles have been distilled into 3 core Marine values: honor, courage, and commitment. This holy trinity is drilled in every Marine from their first day in boot camp and carried in hearts and minds until the day they die. Honor, courage, and commitment were first made a formal part of boot camp in 1996 by the 31st Commandant of Marines, my old friend General Chuck Krulak. Chuck felt very strongly that principles should be an integral part of every Marine's training. When core values are instilled, Chuck said, we will always commit to doing what is right. That way we become men and women of integrity and character. Men and women of integrity and character. Think about that. You can see that sort of character and integrity in General Jim Mattis, probably the greatest Marine combat leader since Chesty Puller. Like Chesty Puller, Mattis is one of those generals who understand that leadership can be defined by the 2 words, follow me. It was Mattis who once said, Marines don't know how to spell the word defeat. As commander of the 1st Marine Division back in 2003, he wrote an all-hands message to his devil dogs as they were about to cross the line of departure and head toward Baghdad. It's a classic. For mission's sake, he said, for our country's sake, and for the sake of the men who carried the division's color in past battles, who fought for life and never lost their nerve, carry out your mission and keep your honor clean. Demonstrate to the world there is no better friend, no worse enemy than a U.S. Marine. Carry out your mission and keep your honor clean. Think about that. It's men and women of character and integrity. Speaking of which, this past August I had the honor of attending the funeral of Air Force Colonel Bud Day, a World War II Korea and Vietnam vet who was shot down in 1967 and spent almost 6 years in captivity. Colonel Day hadn't always been in the Air Force. As a 17-year-old from Sioux City, Iowa, he quit high school and joined the Marine Corps, where he fought his way across the Pacific. After World War II, he went to college and law school and joined the Air Force Reserve. He flew jets in Korea. In fact, by the time he was knocked down in August of 1967, he had more than 4,500 hours of flying jets. Bud escaped after 5 days, but was recaptured within sight of a U.S. Marine outpost. But tortured, starved, and beaten, he never gave up. After an escape by 2 other POWs in Hanoi in 1969, Bud was beaten for information. It's estimated, over the course of several weeks, he received over 600 lashes with a fan belt. Bud Day responded by singing the Star-Spangled Banner, shouting it at his captors. At the notorious Hanoi Hilton, Bud Day shared a cell with a Marine aviator named Orson Swindle and a Navy pilot named John McCain. Orson, who I'm pleased and honored to know, was shot down and captured one day after the Marine Corps birthday on what would have been his last combat mission. But Orson Swindle and Bud Day never gave up. They never, ever abandoned their commitment to doing the right thing. It would have been impossible. Why? Because they were men of character and integrity. John McCain would later write, Bud Day had an indomitable will to survive with his reputation intact, and he strengthened my will to live. Orson Swindle wears 2 silver stars, 2 bronze stars, and 2 Purple Hearts. Bud Day received the Medal of Honor. It was one of more than 60 decorations, including the Air Force Cross, the Silver Star, and 4 Purple Hearts he was entitled to wear. August 1st, the day Bud Day was buried at Naval Air Station Pensacola, a line of Marines 1.5 miles long in dress blue uniforms and standing in a soaking Florida rain lined the road from the main gate to Barrancas National Cemetery, 1 Marine every 3 feet, to honor their fellow Marine Bud Day, to venerate his honor, his courage, his commitment, his character, his integrity. Then there's that other Marine value, sacrifice. Rafael Perella was born in Mexico in 1979. He entered the United States illegally, but managed as a teenager to get a green card. In fact, the same day he got that precious document, he enlisted in the Marine Corps. And while he served, he became a citizen. The only items on the wall of his bedroom were 3 framed documents: the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and his Marine Corps graduation certificate. On November 15, 2004, Sergeant Peralta, serving with A Company, 1st Battalion, 3rd Marine Regiment, Regimental Combat Team 7 of the 1st Marine Division, was in Fallujah. During a house clearing operation, Sergeant Peralta was shot. It was a mortal wound. He went down. From outside, an insurgent tossed a grenade, which landed near Sergeant Peralta's head. Without hesitation, Sergeant Peralta reached out, pulled the grenade into his body, absorbing the blast and shielding his fellow Marines. For his actions, he was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross. And 2 months ago, in San Diego, the Navy christened the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer DDG-115, the USS Rafael Peralta. Rafael's mother was there for the christening. So was his young brother, Lance Corporal Ricardo Peralta, an infantry Marine with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment. Honor, courage, commitment, character, integrity, sacrifice. Those are Marine Corps values. Now, I'd like you to charge your glasses, because I'd like to conclude with a toast about some other Marine Corps values. And the words aren't mine. This particular toast was made 35 years ago, November 10th, 1978, on board Camp Lejeune. It was the toast given by the 26th Commandant of Marines, General Lewis Hugh Wilson, Jr. For those of you who don't know about Lew Wilson, the general was awarded the Medal of Honor for actions on Guam in July of 1944. A section of his citation reads, "Defying intense mortar, machine gun, and rifle fire, which struck down 13 of his 17 men, he drove relentlessly forward with the remnants of his patrol to seize vital ground. By his indomitable leadership, daring combat tactics, and valor in the face of overwhelming odds, Captain Wilson succeeded in capturing and holding the high ground, thereby contributing essentially to the success of the mission and the annihilation of 350 Japanese troops." General Wilson represents every Marine value: honor, courage, commitment, bravery, honesty, compassion, character, integrity, and sacrifice. So, If you will raise your glasses with me, I'll be honored to repeat General Wilson's toast. The wonderful love of a beautiful maid, the love of a staunch, true man, the love of a baby unafraid, have existed since time began. But the greatest of loves, the quintessence of loves, even greater than that of a mother, is the tender and passionate, infinite love of one drunken Marine for another. God bless the United States of America. God bless the United States Marine Corps. Happy birthday, Semper Fi!